You want some of that liquidity, go to Susquehanna or Jane Street or Citadel. Citadel trades to 25% of the whole stock market is Citadel. How crazy is that? Almost every time you put an order in the market, Citadel's there, taking my pennies. That's what I imagine Elizabeth Warren sounds when they shut down the CFPB. It's my agency. Who's going to protect consumers? Yeah, I don't even want to use zero DTE in our streams at all. Like, I don't even want to acknowledge it exists. It's like so toxic. Trump back up over 20. If you told me Trump token would be back over 20, I wouldn't believe you. But here it is. It looked like it was just fading into oblivion, but here's a chance to short it. I mean, unless you think the Trump meme token's worth $20 billion. Did something happen with Trump? Did they extend the, I backed off shorting it.
𝗠𝗏𝗃𝗀.
I backed off shorting it because I was worried they were going to extend their lockups, and that would boost it. So that's the only kind of news that could make it go up like this. Do we know if they made any announcements on the token? Look, NVIDIA's investing in their customers is not a good thing for either NVIDIA or the customer. Yeah, big rally, almost $21 now. Trump's squeezed a bit more, but yeah, SoundHound's down. It used to be on our screen as a short. Yeah, it could be the CZ effect. Bitcoin's not really pumping much. Sorry, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I didn't say buy NVIDIA. I'm sorry, I didn't say buy Santa on that tweet. Pretty sure I did not say, I'm not telling you to buy this. That is literally what I wrote. But you bought it anyway. I mean, it was interesting when their news came out. It was just, it made me think, like, why would anyone want to trade coin when they can, trade something like this more interesting? I like PayPal. Look, as you look at more stocks, your hit rate drops. That's the other thing to keep in mind. It's kind of difficult to keep up a really good win rate when you're looking at more and more securities. Yeah, most biotech sells off in the news these days. It's really, I think, however many you can intelligently think about. Yeah, cell therapies are, they are starting to mature a little bit as an industry. It's definitely not so bad. Look at Legend. You think SPY is going to drop? Yeah, there's a tiger cub that's very good at macro. That's bearish. And is predicting a big dump. He's been one of the best macro traders ever. Called discovery. Manipulation. What are you talking about? We got a truther in here. You all right, Grizza? We don't allow people to come in here and just say dumb. I check you. Yeah, just stoned. Market just opened. You're high. Can you imagine somebody came to your trading desk? Hey, bro. Oh, yeah. What are we doing? Trading? Oh, man. I grab him by the shirt like this. Just throw him out the door. Wow. Coinbase. Selling the news? I know they beat earnings. Yeah, Mike. I mean, they've been working on that forever. I don't know if they'll actually commercialize it. It's anytime you're trying to do something for the first time in biotech, it's always a little tricky. Did they say they're losing share to Robinhood? SoundHound's down. I mean, we've said it's a short. It's kind of they did an acquisition that overstated their growth. That was the main thing there. It's not like some terrible company though. Radio Pharma is a big market. Somebody wanted me to look at Nektar really bad. Really Myers. I mean, just learn on your own. I mean, ask yourself first principles questions. What is net income? What is free cash flow? What is the difference? What would be the difference if I use this? What would be the difference if I use that? Think for yourself. How do you think, Newton and Leibniz invented calculus? They had nobody to ask. It wasn't invented yet. They just thought it through. Yeah, read Aswath. That's a good idea too. Aswath 𝗓𝗏, ChatGPT, great idea as well. Okay, so Nektar has more cash on its balance sheet than its market cap. So this kind of thing is exciting to people because it's worth more dead than alive. The shrinking volume quantum is definitely attractive. Let's take a look at Rigetti. Boy, wrong stock. That's RGT. We are making some updates to terminal so that super fast typers don't have this problem. Yeah, 4 days now in a row. Rigetti's, 6 days in a row under 100 million. Yesterday, 63 million. It was a long time ago. This was the kind of volume, and it was $3 stock or $1 stock.
Order
back
filled.
then. Just traded $1.
Order cancelled.
So that's pretty interesting. It was even trading like single-digit millions of shares, even though it was $1, 6 million shares at $1.13. For some reason, it's 10x that now. Nothing's changed in their business. They're not selling more. They're not doing anything differently. Crazy, right? Mark is just crazy, yeah. If it takes years for quantum to go back to where it came from, that'd be strange. It's not like Wall Street's new to this sector. We've known about this sector for a long time. So it'd be weird if, I guess, look, maybe it will, like 3D printing caught fire. NVIDIA QC day doesn't mean anything. There'll be lots of quantum conferences. I mean, Google's having one. I think Google just had one. The government's always been interested in quantum. Government's never not been interested in quantum. Yeah, I think government will, just like with everything else, it'll come and go in terms of how it spends money on future technologies. It also depends on things like Doge. I mean, Doge just say, listen, you guys have to sink or swim commercially. Why should we pay for this? I don't know if we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen with some dollar stock. No, Steve. I mean, I think the quantum industry is trying to pivot a little bit away from that. Not really, Andrew. Quantum industry is trying to say they're bigger than encryption. People hate Merck just because they have to diversify from Keytruda, and that's going to be a cloud over the stock for a long time. I think that's the gist of Merck. Don't know what's going to happen with Toast. Sorry, that's just the nature of Merck. I mean, that's why there's an opportunity. I mean, photonics and quantum you're talking about photonic computing? Photonic communication we've done for a long time. I don't see quantum ever being useful in ML. Quantum's too complex for me? I didn't know there are things that are too complex for me. We got world-renowned Qiskit expert here. Well, let's see what Nektar's up to at least. Oh, these guys are just going to waste all their money. That's what they always do. Oh, it's the same guy? This guy's been wasting their money for like 20 years. Yeah, it looks like these guys will just waste money. I don't trust this management team at all. Someone's got to be bullish. What are you asking me about Theranos? We don't just sit here and joke around and waste time here, spamming the same thing over and over again. Yeah, we never really expected this many users, so a lot of growing pains. It's a good kind of growing pains, better than nobody showing up, I guess. I told the guys they have to make a system that's so robust and so indestructible. There's no, we should look at WeRide. I have a feeling we're going to hear more about 𝗂𝗓 soon. I don't think an album's coming, but I don't know. We are working on compliance and things like that as we grow and attract institutional clients. That is something that, I think is important. I don't know if Bully is coming out or not. Kanye, trading quantum computing. Easy's long. You too, 𝗂𝗓? Yeah. Why you doing me like that, 𝗂𝗓? Sorry, Shkreli. Nick Fuentes told me to go long. I did not have to fight anybody in prison. Thank God. I'm not much of a... I mean, I could fight, but my physical fitness is very bad. It has been for a while. But, a big thing about fighting, as you guys may know, is not really always about whether you win or lose. You want to win, of course. But a big thing about fighting is just how you handle yourself in the fight at all. And if you step up and you really, you don't flinch, you're not like making any, you're like, it's like the guy fighting will stop. He'll just be like, man, like as long as you square up and you do your thing, it's okay if you lose. The people respect you for throwing a couple punches. They'll respect you for at least squaring up and trying. But you earn respect, and guys like to fight. A lot of times it's just shake things up a little. It's not about no, not really, Mark. People still have money in prison. Well, some people do. Is Robinhood promoting quantum? No, I get charged for securities fraud for defrauding my hedge fund investors who made 4 or 5 times their money. I talked to one last night, actually. He was like, man, they pressured me. I had no choice. And, he didn't take the stand, which was awesome. And he's, he wants to have dinner. It's just so stupid. But, they can get you for anything. You saw the Trump thing. They're like, you lied to Deutsche Bank about your loans. Deutsche Bank's like, we don't care. No, he didn't. And they're like, shut up, Deutsche Bank. You're a victim. They're like, we're not a victim. We got our money back. And they're like, well, we don't really care what you have to say. Well, we're the victim. Doesn't that count for something? And then they go to Trump and they're like, well, you valued Mar-a-Lago at double what it should have been. Well, you guys see my stream. Valuing is not easy. There's a lot of interpretation and wiggle room in valuation. Like, no, it was twice as much. All the experts say, what experts? All these guys we paid. Okay, well, how about I defend myself? Judge is like, okay, 1 second. Guilty. What do I have to pay a fine or something? Judge is like, yeah, how much did you borrow? 400 million? Yeah, you got to pay that. What? I already repaid the loan. Yeah, well, the law says you got to pay back every dollar again. To who? To Deutsche Bank? Deutsche Bank's like, yes, are we getting this money? Like, no, the state gets it. But we're the alleged victims. Why don't we get the money? No, you already got your money back. So there's no restitution. Okay, then what is this? It's called disgorgement. We're disgorging the ill-gotten gains. What gains? I borrowed the money and paid it back. I didn't gain anything. Well, under the law, the intended loss is the deception that you caused when you borrowed the money. So theoretically, you deprived Deutsche Bank of $400 million. So you have to pay that back to us. One of my lawyers is working on Trump's disgorgement case. It's actually pretty neat. SEC v. 𝗏 took a hammer to disgorgement, and the amazing Clarence Thomas, this is one of the most based things ever. This is Sotomayor, but here's Thomas dissenting. Disgorgement can never be awarded under Title 15. Equitable relief. Disgorgement is not a traditional equitable remedy. Disgorgement is a creation of the 20th century. Crazy. English Court of Chancery at the time of the founding of this country. I love this. Look at this. Disgorgement is not a traditional form of equitable relief. It is a 20th century invention. It is not even clear what disgorgement means. The majority acknowledges its protean character. Protean means, basically means expanding or like containing lots of things or like tending or able to change frequently or easily.
Protean.
Protean? I think protean.
Protean.
It's not a historically recognized equitable remedy. The definition of disgorgement after today's decision is a remedy that compels each defendant to pay his profits and all of his co-defendants' profits to a third-party government agency, which is sometimes, though it's not clear when, passes the money on to the victims. What's really great is this part. No published case appears to have used the term disgorgement to refer to equitable relief until the 20th century. And even then it was used non-technically. But now it's part of the law, just because. Someone decided it should be part of the law. And that someone was a bureaucrat. What if we can take people's money? Oh, good idea. And the very best part of this, when I read this, I was so happy. This part's the wildest. I was reading this in prison. It is telling that when the SEC began seeking this relief, it did so without any statutory authority. Well, that would seem important. Legal dictionaries did not define the term until the turn of the 20th century. Disgorgement is not a form of relief that was available in the English Court of Chancery at the founding. The majority's treatment of disgorgement as equitable relief threatens great mischief. It invites abuse because the word has no fixed meaning. Majority's decision to tame rather than reject disgorgement will also cause confusion. The order should be limited to each petitioner's profits, should not be joint and several, and the money should be used to compensate victims only. This is a really big case. SEC v. 𝗏 changed a lot of things. I'm looking for the most based part of this, but I know it's either in here or another decision. Well, funds are by definition not publicly traded other than mutual funds, some closed-end funds. But it's hard for a fund to be publicly traded. Usually the stock market is sort of fund interests are rarely publicly traded, I'd say that, especially private funds. Theoretically, there's nothing wrong with trading a fund interest. I mean, mutual funds do that, or closed-end funds do that. I'm interested in really running a fund. I could theoretically run a fund. I'm better at an entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur than being a fund manager. It's a lot of work. It's not a lot of pay. It's very difficult. Marketing your fund is more important than actually getting great results. I mean, I'll invest a little bit in funds here and there. Oh, Jamie Dimon's 100% right about work from home. Nobody should work from home. Yeah, Merck's gonna bottom out at some point. We have a guy that works from home who's very good, and some people can do remote. We'll only do remote in case of like really exceptional. I went to the office 4 days this week. Yeah, I mean, part of my job is to stream, so it's a little bit different. But if I had to interact with colleagues, so kind of doesn't matter where I stream from. Any good faith mistake, it's not going to ban anybody just for. At the end of the day, most companies in most situations should not have work from home. Doesn't mean that it's impossible to make it work or something. I wouldn't hold to a short till zero. I would just cover. No need to hold to zero. Do not sleep at work. That annoys me. Here's a fund called Slate Patch. Here it said they had $5 billion of positions. That's a lot. For what period was this? 12/31. Oh, so the 12/31 13Fs are rolling in. I don't know much about Marx. I know he likes to write. We still have a little bit of work to do before we're ready to go to institutions and really press sales. Yeah, it looks like every 13F is coming out today. I'm not sure Michael Burry or Bill Ackman that matter that much. This guy is one of my favorites to follow. Let's see what he's got. I think he's big in Dyn. DYN. 𝗥𝗘𝗢𝗙𝗚𝗅. It's AKRO. 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗙. 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗙. Axom, Avidity, Insmed, Madrigal, huge. MDGL. I was bullish on this. Natera, wow, big position, Natera. PTC, Rocket is his company. Tarsus, nice. Yeah, Luke, the first hedge fund job is always underpaid. Just network and go to another fund. Yeah, pretty soon on Godel, you'll be able to access every hedge fund manager's phone number and email, every analyst. So you can start begging for jobs that way. Is what considered a job? What are you saying? Every fund has an offshore fund for tax advantage reasons. In fact, most of the money in hedge funds is offshore. Quantum coming in for a hard landing here. So many hedge funds, Jesus Christ. They all have similar sounding names, which is even funny. Even funnier. This is my old boss. 42 billion. The Children's Investment Fund. If you guys, yeah, this is I think it's a good question. 827, I'm not sure. This is a good fund to follow if you guys want to follow somebody instead of Nancy.
Order partially filled.
This guy is one of the best track records of all time. And he just has 10 stocks. Oops. He's got GE Aerospace, Microsoft, Moody's, S&P Global, and Visa. It's a lot of fintech. This guy's got $16 billion of fintech. And $7 billion in railroads, $4 or $5 billion in Google. TCI. No, Bill Ackman's very good. TCI doesn't do shorts. Chan Zuckerberg Initiative has a 13F. Okay, I kind of have to look at that. That's based. Get 300-400 million. They got 3 stocks, 3 ETFs. Self-aware. There's SRS, kind of a newish fund that's gotten very big. 7 billion. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of proprietary track record data on hedge funds that I'm going to upload to Godel. This is stuff nobody has. Ryan, I don't know if you caught the beginning of my stream, but when you say 500 PE, I want to make sure you're using the right. The price is easy part. Make sure you use the right denominator. Hedge follow. I don't think so. This isn't real data. I looked at this. This is the 13F. This does not tell you anything. This is super cringe. This is the cringiest thing in the world because it looks at the 13F. That's not how that works. Well, we're $60 a month going to 80 or 100, so don't know what hedge fund as a service is. Sorry. I think we always are going to have a free version. We want people to be able to look up basic information for free. We want to have the best free tier. For example, Yahoo Finance won't even let you download a spreadsheet of historical prices. We'd let you do that for free. Yahoo makes you sign up and pay, which is crazy. There's Susquehanna's. 662 billion notional. Susquehanna is probably 15% of all trades for Susquehanna. If you can get a job at Susquehanna, it's pretty good job. Pretty good career path, I heard. This guy was
My first big investor that really put my drug company in business. His fund's down to 100 million. He made a bunch of money on me. These guys are popular, newish healthcare fund. I don't know how well they've done. And Merrick's on Godel, so there you can network with Susquehanna, possibly. He probably won't just give up a contact like that easily, but the point is, you know, there's a lot of ways you can connect and network and contact people, and we're just going to make that more easy as we onboard lots of people's contact information, lots of people from the buy side. NVIDIA's 13F caused a lot of shakeups, didn't it? Didn't it? Qube is one of the biggest 13F filers, and it's this StatArb. I think it's StatArb, but it could be more market making. Could be both.
Partially filled.
But Qube is, I don't know if you guys know anything about these guys. This is a quant fund, massive quant fund. Qube Research, Qube. See, you're learning something. You're learning about the elite Wall Street players. Who else is going to teach you that? Because they don't even know about it. XTX is its own weird thing. Bridger still filing? Charlemagne? This is Charlemagne's hedge fund. I guess it's just a family office now. Yeah, I don't think Burry is worth paying attention to. Yeah, Berkshire Partners is really funny. It's supposedly really good, too. I mean, the Berkshires existed before Warren Buffett, I guess. Okay, these guys are really curious. I looked at their track record last night. It's very good. Anson. Have you guys heard of these guys? They're not new, but like track record's incredible. QUBT is a 0. That's like, it's not even a real company. Some people care, some people don't. You know, in this role where I'm trying to help you guys with your careers and your life, I do think if I were you, it's important to know these names and these players, because these are the only people who have jobs as professional investors. So you want to work for a top professional investor, well, you got to know who they are in the first place. You've never heard of them, then, you know, I always give the example. Let's say you're on a plane or you're waiting for a bus. It doesn't matter. You're on the subway, and for whatever reason, you strike up a conversation with somebody, and maybe they touch your leg, but you find a reason to start talking, and you're like, oh, so what do you do?
𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗏.
And they're like, oh, I'm an investor. And you say, oh, wow, you know, what kind of investing do you do? So I work for a fund. It's called Anson. And if you're like, oh, never heard of it, then you like could totally throw away your, you know, chance. But if you're like, oh, I loved your short on this stock, you know, on Soundhound. That was a great short you guys did. And he's like, wow, you really know a lot, huh? Yeah, I'm friends with so-and-so. You know, I'd love to stay in touch. Or you don't even say that. You come back next week and you give him a call. And you say, hey, John, it's Steve from the train. Oh, what's up, Steve? Yeah, you know, I was looking at this other stock. I think it's a great short. Oh, yeah, tell me about it. And now you've got a networking opportunity. That's how you do it, folks. But you got to hustle. If you never even know who the names are, you're not going to have a chance. Oh, there's funds and stuff. I mean, listen, if you're not in New York, don't waste our time. Want to be a top investor from Kansas? I mean, you got to go find the 1 or 2 guys in Kansas. I mean, they're there. They're definitely there. But you got to go find the 1 or 2 guys that invest out of Kansas. There are not that many. Yeah, I mean, how many investing jobs are there in Omaha? 6. Yeah, I know you can make it. There's money everywhere. But you want to work in the professional investing career, hard to do it on your own. And Buffett came to New York. Buffett worked in New York for a while. I mean, Chicago, San Francisco, New York, Miami. There's plenty of cities you can do finance in, but you're in Kentucky. You know, how are you going to join the hedge fund industry? Yeah, not too much going on in Toronto either. Here's one firm. They will take a shot on somebody from here. Maple Lane. Good fund. Smart people. A lot of capital. Pretty cutthroat, but they're not stuck up. They would take a shot on somebody. Not too many funds in Switzerland, believe it or not. They're there. I mean, there are a couple. The European hedge fund scene is a little different. It's mostly London.
Wasn't that the long only that Buffett was friends with? Like Bill Rowan was like Buffett's buddy, right? So even Buffett was networking. Hello, Bill. I was Warren. Put the cherry Diet Coke. I like that. Matrix. This guy is closing shop. I don't know why. Let's see if he has any outside money. I think he's okay. So he's still winding down his portfolio. This guy's a bit of a legend. Not a lot of people know a lot about him. But I don't know what the news was. Health concerns. Senvest. Walleye.